Okay, so I just did a very dumb thing. I've been out paddling around for the last, 2 hours, just playing around with my new toy that I'm going to show you guys here in just a minute. And I dropped my phone in the lake. Not just my phone in the lake, I dropped my phone and my tripod in the lake. So everything I've filmed for the last couple of hours is gone. The drive in here is gone, showing you how I put the canoe on the top of my cube is gone. And sadly, my phone and my tripod are gone too. And I knew what I was doing was not the right thing, but I was excited and wanted to get a video of something. And yeah, so that's my morning. It was off to a great start. So we are out at Nolte State Park. This is Deep Lake, and it is a very deep lake, unfortunately, and I was right in the middle where my phone and tripod went bloop. So I apologize for the video quality for this one, because I'm now using my primary phone, and I'm not going to put this on a tripod because I don't have one. So I'm going to handhold it, and I'll use my chest mount for some paddling stuff, but I'm not going to take any risks because I can't afford to lose. I can't afford to lose another phone. All right, so a few weeks ago, I guess a couple of months ago now, I was out in my inflatable kayak at Penrose Point State Park and explored the Lake Bay Marina. And I realized just how much I missed being out on the water. So I went out and I bought a canoe. It's not a new canoe. Actually, according to the data plate, it was built in 1999 for the 2000 retail year. So it's a 26-year-old canoe, almost 27 years old. So not a new one, but I think it's a lot like me, right? It's got its dents and its dings and scratches, but still a lot of life left in the old girl. So this is an Old Town Guide 147. As you can see, it's set up with the custom molded seats for tandem paddling. And I am going to be doing a lot of solo paddling. So the idea today was to get out and see if just going in reverse and sitting in the front seat was going to be enough to get the pitch of the boat right, or if maybe I wanted to replace the portage bar and put in a third seat. The beauty of a third seat is then my wife and my son and I could all come out in here. It's got plenty of flotation. It can hold us. But I'm not sure if I'd be a little cramped with a third seat in there. So I've been paddling around the lake. I'm using my Gossamer Gear sit pad from my G420 pack just to kind of offset these molded seats. They're incredibly comfortable if you're facing the right direction, which I am not today. But what I found is when I sit in the front seat and paddle backwards, that seems to kind of balance the boat out enough. And I think if I'm carrying 30 or 40 pounds of gear with me, then it'll probably balance it out just about right. Obviously, when I go down into a kneeling position and I slide forward a little bit farther, it gives me more power with my stroke. So I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and just replace the front seat with a flat seat. Then when I am tandem paddling with my son or my wife or all three of us, we'll still have, just the two seats. My son can sit in the middle on a cooler. But when I'm solo paddling, then I'll have a nice flat bench to sit on. So yeah, it's been a productive day. Just kind of a bummer of a day too. And there is one other thing that we're going to do today. Because if you're out on this beautiful lake, it was at dawn. Again, you didn't get to see that because, well, that's in the bottom of the lake. But if you're out here early in the morning, shouldn't you go fishing? So I picked up a little toy. I'm going to set the phone down, again, because I don't have a tripod. I'm going to pull out my new fishing rod, and I'm going to show this thing to you guys because it is pretty cool. It was supposed to do all this in the boat. Ah, there it is. Okay, this is crazy. It's called a pen pole. And yes, this is an actual fishing pole. Now, it's obviously not an incredibly heavy-duty pole, but it came with probably the world's smallest spinner reel. Let's see if we can get this thing put together. Okay, this is awesome. It would be a heck of a lot easier if I wasn't too stubborn to bring my glasses along. When I went in to get my license yesterday, the clerk tried to look me up in the state database. And apparently, they purge their records every 10 years. And they could not find my name, which means it has been over a decade since I actually went fishing. Now, we do live on a small lake, and I go out with my son periodically, but that's him fishing, that's not me fishing. And I started looking for my different lures and my gear, and all I could find was my fly rod. And it's winter time here. And I was never a good fly fisherman, and I'm certainly not about to try fly fishing in the middle of winter. Right? All the fish are deep in the lake, trying to stay away from the frozen waters on top, and they're pretty lethargic this time of year. So I'm not going to attract any with a fly, but I've got a couple of sinkers that I want to try. This lake supposedly has stocked trout every year, some wild cutthroat, kokanee, and even the rumor of a bass. Definitely would be easier if I had my glasses. Okay, pretty simple and easy. Let's see if we can find any sleepy trout. I have a feeling this is going to be way too big of a lure. But again, it's what I get for buying a tackle box in the middle of the night and hoping Amazon would deliver it in time. Yep, first cast, it sunk right to the bottom. So I'm gonna have to try and find a little bit better way to get this to float. I apologize for the weird camera angles. As you can imagine, I'm a little nervous about dropping this phone in the lake. Because it was a little overconfident earlier today. So I actually just saw a fish jump, which I did not think I would see any jump. whether or not we can catch one is a completely different story. Not having any luck casting. So I've got the lure down there. What I'm estimating is about 2 or 3 feet off the bottom. Just kind of letting it bob around a little bit, and we'll see if anybody is interested. I do keep seeing a couple of trout jump every now and then. Yeah, there's definitely fish in here. No, maybe I should have brought my fly rod after all. There's a little beaver dam blocking off a little section of the creek there. On the other side, right there where we pulled the canoe out for me to cry about losing my phone, there were a bunch of little birch trees where the beavers had been chewing on them, and you could tell they'd knocked a few little trees down. And over here I can hear the creek on the other side, and got the beaver dam, and there's a couple trees back here where they've been working away. It's pretty cool. All right, all these lures are just way too big. Got that little fly, but the hooks are huge. So I just try this guy out. I still think this is a little big. I don't like the 3 hooks. That's just a little too hard to pull out if you do end up catching a fish. But we'll debarb it. That way we don't do any more damage than intended. I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky. My pliers are in my backpack in the bow of the boat, and I am too wobbly in here on my own to crawl up there, but I think I can flatten the barbs down with these and just give them a little twist and make sure we break those barbs off. Yep, that works pretty good. And I have no intention of keeping anything I catch today, because soft, muddy winter trout, it's not good. Maybe with enough salt and pepper, but no thank you. All right, let's try this again. See if we can get a little luckier. That's nice. That doesn't sink nearly as fast, so I can keep it on the surface a little bit longer and maybe catch a couple of those that are coming up and feeding. This is the third time that this reel has snagged up on me. And I think I paid like $13 for this whole thing. You'd expect it to be better. Actually, I don't know if it's the reel or if it's just the fact that I'm casting with such little weight that it's not really pulling anything out. I'm not getting any bites, but I'll tell you, this little pole is actually a lot of fun. It's surprisingly easy to cast. I don't know what the gear ratio is on the reel, but I don't know what that is. So I have no idea what the ratio is. But reel's pretty nice. The casting is nice, and obviously there's no weight to it at all. So my plan is to keep this in my backpack this year when I go up and do some of my river or alpine lake hikes. So that'd be kind of fun. Do a little casting, maybe catch some dinner one of those nights. Certainly not going to be catching dinner today. Okay, a very expensive day. Lost my phone, lost my tripod, and I got a parking ticket. Oh well, see you next week.